Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking about my first road trip experience. Now if you hear a casino, stop ringing the bell. So I think you guys could tell, I'm not at the house. And the reason being is I'm actually at a hotel right now. I kind of wanted to talk about this entire road trip that I did up to where I am right now, which is near Six Flags St. Louis, or now Mid-America Adventure. And I kind of wanted to talk about it today because there was a lot of places I went to. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing is a little bit of a backstory is that I wasn't going to do this drive originally, and I also wasn't going to go to Daredevil Days at all this year. But I kind of changed my mind because, I feel like I kind of need to do more stuff, more activities before my job ends because it ends around mid-September or so. And yeah, so I am in a hotel that I'll mention a little bit about it later. And yeah, so my grandma did this last year, and she took me to Six Flags St. Louis. Yeah, so she's the GOAT for taking me up there because she's approaching 80 years old. So that was really cool of her to do. Actually was not going to do this originally because I have never driven this far in my life. I think the longest I've driven is probably an hour and a half. And because of my disability, it's really hard to kind of focus for a really long time. And yeah, so I did this. I drove 3 hours from my house. And yeah, actually what made it easier is that I took breaks and stops. And that's kind of what's mainly on this list because I feel like if I just saw the number of 2 hours and 50 minutes or something like that on my GPS, it would just be very intimidating. So it was helpful to kind of split things up. So yeah, there's a few things that I did. So the first thing is I went to a Route 66 diner. So this is a place in St. Robert, Missouri, and it was actually perfect because it was around halfway to where the resort or this hotel is for Six Flags. So I went here, and what's really cool about this is that it's a 50s type of diner. Now I have been to one other one, which was the Cakes and Creams one in Branson, Missouri, and I really liked that one, even though the food's a little expensive. But yeah, so I saw this literally the night before I left, which was today, and I was like, this is freaking awesome, or this looks cool. I'm gonna go there, and they just had literally everything 50s. They had posters of Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley, or I think James Dean too. They literally had it all decked out. It literally feels like you're time traveling back to the 50s. And they had a jukebox as well. And yeah, so I got a double-decker burger, which was basically just a double patty burger, which is because I like my burgers plain. And if you guys didn't see that video, it's basically how I'm a very picky eater. So yeah, I ordered that, and it was a really good burger. Sometimes when I go to fast food and stuff, I realize this is just not as good as actual burgers that are made with care, just made with effort. So yeah, that was really cool, and I tipped them a lot because they were really nice. It's kind of like the Waffle House thing where it's the old kind of lady who's really nice, kind of like a grandma. That was really cool, and I just literally found that out at the last minute and decided to go there. So the next one is the Uranus Fudge Factory. So I mentioned this in the update video I did around 3 weeks ago or so, and this is basically kind of a tourist attraction or a tacky kind of a tourist stop where basically it's a whole bunch of stuff. It's kind of there's a fudge factory, there's a museum, and there's just a whole bunch of kind of tourist attractions in there, even though it's a little bit smaller on the scale. But yeah, so I went there, and I just really kind of thought it was pretty cool because I did go there in January of 2025 when I had that really major depressive episode, and my mom took me to Chuck E. Cheese's in Springfield, Illinois, one of the last ones with animatronics. But yeah, so I went there, and every time I go to this place, I always forget on what's actually in there. And actually, this is the longest I've ever been to this place because usually we just kind of stop for a quick photo or maybe a quick snack, but I got to really explore this place. So the first thing I did is I kind of saw these classic cars in the front. I think it's near the general store, and I took a picture with that as a police car, and I forgot the other car, but I really like those really classic cars, and that kind of reminds me of the 50s. They just really had colorful things like that, and I do kind of miss cars that I kind of have that a little bit. I really like restored classic cars, and my favorite car model is definitely the 1957 Chevrolet, I think, Bel Air. I just love that color, and I usually like it red. But yeah, so I took a picture next to those classic cars, and then I went to the store, or I went to the store first, and I saw this psychic robot. And I have not seen one of these in years. So basically, for people who don't know, it's basically this kind of psychic, kind of like Arabian type of thing, where like it's a robot and then it kind of tells you your fortune, like a fortune teller. And I decided to spend $2 on it, and I forgot what it told me. It was something like something big will happen to you that will kind of positively affect your life and stuff like that. And even though it's randomly generated, but yeah, it was kind of cool, really seeing kind of like an animatronic like that. And I have not seen one of these since I was like 10 years old or something, and I don't even remember the last time where it was. So yeah, there was a robot there, and it was $2, and they did accept card because I didn't have any cash left after I went to the restaurant because I tipped them with cash. But yeah, so I went to that and I thought it was pretty cool. And I went to the inside of the store, and the store is kind of like more of what I remember it being because they just had literally everything under the sun. Like, it was kind of crazy because like I really forgot on like how much there actually was. I mean, I remember it was being big, but there was other like t-shirts, like old kind of wooden mugs and stuff like that. They have literally everything ever. So I was a little overwhelmed by it, and it was a little bit loud in there because of like my sensory with autism and stuff. And actually, I did get a couple things. I think it's here. I got a Uranus pin. So this was really cool because I am a pin collector. I mean, surprisingly, I didn't get any at Disney. It was just kind of too expensive. Like, they were charging $20 a pin sometimes. This was only $5, which is actually a pretty good deal because, like, I am a huge fan of pins, and $5 is a really good price for a pin nowadays. This is what Disney's used to cost like 10 years ago, or even 15 years ago, I think, probably. But yeah, so I got some peanut butter fudge, and it was pretty good. Like, I mean, I think I do like Silver Dollar Cities a little bit better. Like, I mean, this one did have bigger portion sizes. Like, it was massive for one block. But I did, and I still kind of like Silver Dollar Cities a little bit better in terms of like smaller pieces and kind of the Ziploc bag. So yeah, I got this pin. And I didn't get really anything else because I'm kind of trying to stay on a budget because my job is ending soon. So, and the other thing that I went to is a museum that was kind of like built into like the place itself. So, this museum was one of the creepiest places I've ever been to in my life. I'm not exaggerating. Like, I've heard of people talk about how weird it is, and basically just kind of a bunch of strange stuff. And I have never been there when I've been at the Uranus kind of center because we just didn't have any time to like really go through it. And I went there, it was like $5 for admission, and I went in there, and no joke, I was literally the only one there. Like, I was the only person there, and the way it was laid out is that it was really dark. Like, I mean, there were, like, lights around it sometimes, but it was a really weird, dark area for a lot of these exhibits. And, like, it really kind of had, like, a circus theme, like a Barnum and Bailey and stuff like that. But even they don't follow that theme that well, because literally there's so much random crap in this place. Like, there's two headed goat taxidermies, there's a Frankenstein statue, weird animal organs and jars. It is the weirdest thing ever. And like, it really felt like a liminal space, like a backrooms level or something. Like, I mean, I know that I've been kind of fixating on liminal spaces and stuff like that recently, but it's even weirder than the queue lines at Disney World, or Disneyland in California Adventure. Because at least those are kind of more popular places, but just the way it was laid out was very odd, and it was kind of very eerie. Like, I just have never been to a museum this weird in my life. And like, I mean, it wasn't even that big either. Why I think it was kind of a more liminal space is because it wasn't as big. Like, the roof was really low. It was just very odd. So, yeah, and I glad I took a few pictures and filmed it. You just had to be there though. Like it's one of those things that you just have to be there to like really feel the creepiness. And I don't know if it was intentional. I don't think it was. On the website, they say that kids can go in, but they might get a little scared. I don't know how any kid does it. Because, like, it just... Even I was getting a little bit creeped out with these weird taxidermies and, like, weird clown things and stuff. But yeah, so, I mean, I just thought that was interesting. I'm not going to go again the next time I go to Uranus thing, but I just thought it was very weird. So yeah. So the next one is the Lazarus Pinball Museum. So I have had kind of a more recent love for pinball in the past like year or so because I used to like it, but I didn't really care for it, like playing for it for a long time. Because there is this place near Springfield called 1984, and they actually had and still have like a really good selection in terms of like pinball machines. But I saw that this place called Lazarus Pinball was like right outside of this Super 8, and I decided to drive there first because I still had a little bit of time to check in here. I checked in here at like 3, and it was still around 1:30 when I went over there. I went in there and it was a really cool place. I mean, it's a little small, but there are literally over like 40 machines probably in there. They had so much cool variety. Like they had like Star Wars ones and Godzilla, which Godzilla was probably my favorite because it kind of had that perfect mix of like vintage and new. And I also really liked Jurassic Park too. Like I really like the movie themed ones. Those are my favorite because it just kind of has like that old kind of expression. I mean, there were really old ones there too. And also, there was Miss Pac-Man. And I have not played Miss Pac-Man, like, legitimately with a fast version, because there's this fast version that used to be at my local arcade that I liked better, where it was faster speed to play the game. And it had that, and the last time that I played it that way was in the Branson Tracks in a vlog 15, where I went to that arcade and the tracks. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. And the sad thing is, a lot of like the actual arcade machines were down. So Miss Pac-Man was like the only one, other than like 2 more, that did remain. And I'm glad that it was open because I really liked Miss Pac-Man. So yeah, I spent around an hour there. And yeah, so it was really cool. I just have really had a love for pinball recently. So yeah. So the last thing is this hotel. Now, I know I just got here, but I think I can already write a review because I can kind of just do it at face value. So when I walked in, the guy was really nice. He gave me my room key. And it's crazy because I've just never been booked a hotel before by myself. Like, I am 23, and you can do it at 21. It took me 2 whole years to do it by myself. But yeah, so I'm up here now, and the room is a little odd. There's some kind of interesting stuff. Actually, I might actually show you guys a little bit of this because this is kind of strange. So, okay, so this is the room itself. There's my suitcase. I have everything in there. So I walked in here and it's not like bad. Like in terms of Super 8, like it's actually kind of one of the tamer ones I've seen compared to things on the internet. But there's a couple weird things about it. So this bar has a little bit of like rust. Maybe I'm just kind of being annoying with this, but there's a wooden block here for some reason. There's that, and then what happened is with the sink is that I found, when I walked in here, I found a freaking half can of Monster, like the drink, just down there. And I was like, why is that there? I guess maybe they didn't check it. And the fridge is a little gross, but it's not like the worst I've ever seen. But yeah, so that's kind of all my stuff, and there's an extra jolt for on the way back. And the furniture is kind of old, which kind of makes sense. Like, there's some people saying, oh, it's a Super 8, what do you expect? The bed, actually, I've not tested the bed yet, actually. It's not bad. It's pretty comfy. But yeah, so there's all this stuff. What's actually really nice with this is that it has a USB port. I like it when there's USB ports right in here because sometimes you really have to go under to get that power outlet right there. The only thing that really sucks about this room is that this air conditioner is terrible. And especially with how hot it's been in the past few weeks where I live, like, it's been crazy. So if I think I can turn it up a little bit, but it barely, it sounds like it does a lot, but it really doesn't in reality. But yeah, so I've been trying to kind of like really like have like the light here because it was not easy to film here at first because I really had to do like manual focus and stuff for it to even work. But yeah, so there's a TV, which is actually a pretty nice TV. But yeah, so that is the room. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna try to get a Six Flags video out. It might be a couple days because I'm traveling back, but I hope I can get one through, and I kind of wanted to talk about this. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.